Cello, we're back for week 7, lucky 7, September 7th, my birthday. That's going to mean lucky week for us. Looking to go 5-0 again and take command. It's time, right? I feel like we're well into the season at this point. We should really know what we're doing. There's no reason not to go 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we were definitely helped last week. Favorites had a dominant week, and we happened to be on 5 favorites, and that was very opportune timing for us. But sometimes, games just look easier some weeks than others. This one looks a little muddled to me. It's going to be a little tougher, I think, but I still think we can walk out of here. Anything over 500 every week is good, right? 3-2 wouldn't be terrible. Obviously, 4-1 or 5-0 would be elite. So let's try and keep it going, brother.
Yeah, I think we need to be 7. So I looked at the standings. Some guys 90%. That'll never last. But
no,
70% is
that's the number.
Currently in the money. So I think we're 6 games out of that number, right?
Yeah, we got some work to do. We had a rough start.
And don't forget, we have a skip week that we must take. And the final week of the season is not part of the tournament. So at some point, if we ever feel like the card is too tough, we can decide to pass. For the newsletter, we got to release 5, but it doesn't mean we have to put them in the contest.
Okay, understood. I mean, I don't think this is the week for that. I mean, we're coming off 5-0 week. Let's try and stay hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Tonight's game.
Yeah, let's go right into tonight's game. Kicking off right about an hour from now. Broncos Saints. I'm passing on this one. I mean, I'm very tempted to take New Orleans, although they're so riddled with injuries. It's going to be hard for me to get to the window on that one, but I just can't believe Denver's favored in any game. How could Bo Nix be a favorite?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why they are. They're a better team right now than the Saints. The Saints are an absolute mash crew. They're missing their center. They're missing their starting tackle. They're missing a guard. They're missing their 2 starting receivers. They're playing a backup quarterback. Denver's coming off a tough loss at home to the Chargers. I think Denver's been the better team this year defensively. Their DVOA is top 10. Saints have fallen off a cliff here. I like Denver, but I mean, it's 2.5. I mean, it seems too easy to me. I think they're trying to get everyone to bet the Saints as a home dog here, but we're not really good on Thursday nights, and I'm not prepared to put it in our top 5. But I already bet I already bet Denver tonight. I just think they've just looked like a better team, and they're catching the Saints at the right time. The Saints are really, really banged up. I know they have some young kid at wide receiver. I forget his name. He's supposed to be the fastest guy on the field. Maybe Rattler hits him a couple times. I know the tight end's been very good. Yeah. No, not Tipton, the other kid. The other
Bob Means.
Yeah, that guy Means. Yeah. Supposed to be the fastest guy on the field. And obviously Kamara's playing, but listen, yeah, Sean Payton's going to be prepared, right? And I think he's not going to want to lose this game to the Saints.
Nor are they going to want to lose to him.
Yeah, I get it. It's both ways. So it's a skip for us. But, I mean, gun to my head, I'm taking Denver.
Okay, let's move on. We passed there. Patriots, Jags.
God, it's so ugly.
Game. Obviously, the Jags didn't have to travel. They stayed. So they have that as, to their advantage. I don't know. I mean, I'm passing on this one also. I'm very tempted to take New England. But my only question when handicapping this game is like, have the Jags like checked out? Like, are they waiting for Peterson to get fired as soon as they come back from this trip on the
right?
Tarmac? Like that famous firing on the tarmac as soon as he lands.
Yeah.
So I don't have a sense. Like their defense is obviously horrible. I think like the Patriots are the up and comers. Obviously, it feels like that's the right side. But man, with their offensive line and their just everything that they do, I can't bring myself to take them. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, no, we can't take either one of these teams. We're not betting. We're not picking bad teams. These two are 2 of the worst teams in the league. I mean, if you ask me on paper, Jacksonville's got more talent than the Patriots. That in this game really doesn't matter. In my pick pool, I'm taking the points because it's 5.5, and I can't imagine either team. I guess the Patriots could get blown out, but Jacksonville's defense is so bad that Drake May is bound to have some success in this game. So I think we just leave it alone. There's no reason for us to bet it. It's two bad teams. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Okay. Eagles Giants.
This is one of my favorite games of the week.
Really?
I absolutely love Philadelphia in this game.
Wow. Me too.
I think they're going to destroy the Giants. The Giants lost Andrew Thomas to a lift frank surgery. Injuries out for the year. The Giants have Malik Davis.
I think he'll play. He DNP'd. He hasn't been in practice this week. I mean, maybe he's just resting.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, their defensive line is elite. I mean, they have 26 sacks. They lead the league in sacks, and they still have a losing record. So I just don't see. I mean, I think Saquon is going to embarrass the Giants this weekend. I mean, I like the Giants, but to me, he's going to come in there with a chip ready to do some damage. And I know Sirianni is a disaster for Philadelphia, and they've barely squeaked by the Browns. But to only be laying 3 in this game, I like Philly a lot.
Me too. I think it's like a good time to bet Philly. Everybody's down on them. They're down on Sirianni no matter what he does. Like, I can't believe the criticism that guy received this week for barely beating Cleveland.
I just think for barking at the fans. Yeah.
With the fans, the horrible haircut, the bringing his kids into the press conference as human shields. It's just like the guy can't get a break. You know what I mean?
No. It's a tough town.
But they are healthy.
Yeah.
And they are, on paper, a much better team than the Giants. I mean, they just get criticism for not like blowing teams out. You know what I mean? Like, people are so hard on them with the expectations, but I think only laying a field goal here provides some value for Philly. I'm with you. I like.
Yeah, a couple things. When you say healthy, I mean, they are missing Goddard. I think he might be out for the year, which is a really big loss for Philly because Hurts likes to throw to him a lot. So, but they got A.J. Brown. They got Devonta Smith, obviously. They're 2 elite receivers, and obviously Saquon. So, I think they'll have enough to cover the 3. The other thing I liked from a data standpoint is Philly is 5-1 straight up in their last 6 visits to Giants Stadium. So, they play well there, and I think they pretty much own this rivalry. So I don't see how that changes given the state that the Giants are in with the injuries and some of the dysfunction that we're seeing. You're going to have probably a rookie step in for Andrew Thomas, or maybe they move Evan Neal, who's been kind of a bust for them, back into the starting lineup. Not sure if Singletary is going to play or not. And obviously Malik Neighbors has been concussed. So this one to me is just Eagles -3. I'm willing to take it.
Yep. Okay. We agree. Let's go Seahawks Falcons. So I have a bet on this game already on the over 50.5.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like either both of these teams should be able to get to 28 points. Or a 27-24 final works also. My takeaway from the Monday show, big. Yeah, I don't think Atlanta's defense, they look terrible against Carolina. Seattle's defense has not looked good.
They've been horrible.
And that's, granted, been against some better offenses, but these are both very high powered offenses. I think I have both of them in the top 10 in my rankings. And their pass defenses are bottom half of the league on both sides. So I just think this is like going to be a score fest. Now,
what's the line?
So here's the thing. For us in the contest, it's 3.5. That's important. The market is 2.5. So I think we should comment on both, but I think we should consider heavily taking Seattle plus 3.5 in the contest.
I don't think I can do it.
Whether we do it, as an official release to the newsletter and saying that's like one of our top 5s is, that can be between you and me. But man, I just think Atlanta laying more than a field goal. There were parts of that game against Carolina where I didn't think they were going to cover. So how are they going to cover against these guys?
Nah, that game was never in doubt. Listen, Seattle's a mess. Seattle is an absolute mess physically on defense. They just don't have the horses right now. None of their players are healthy. Geno is leading the league in passing, but he has made some mistakes. I want to get with Seattle. When I first saw this game, I'm like, wow, if we're getting enough points, maybe Seattle makes sense. And then I rethought it. I looked at the stats, and Atlanta has a really, really good history against Seattle against the spread when they're playing them in Atlanta. I like the way Atlanta's playing. I just think they're more well-rounded. Bijan's been great. They're getting the ball to Pitts. Cousins looks very comfortable to me. Really good.
What do you think of Atlanta? Atlanta's defense is bottom half of the league, and
It's kind of struggling a little bit, but I still think they're better than Seattle. I want to try and get with you on this. I'm not going to rule it out entirely. I can watch it, but my inclination would be to take Atlanta at home. I don't like the way Seattle's been playing at all the last few weeks.
Okay, can't get you there. Maybe there'll be time. We'll see how our top 5 shapes up. All right.
Sure.
You like Atlanta.
Yeah, I understand the weapons that Seattle has on offense. I also understand they've been penalized a lot recently, and they can't stop anybody on defense. I don't know how that changes on the road against Atlanta's offense, which I think could put up 40-something points in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think both. That's why I love the over.
Yeah, I like that too.
We'll circle back. Texans, Packers, 2.5. Texans getting.
What a game this is, huh? I like this game a lot.
Possible, wouldn't be completely unreasonable to say this is a possible Super Bowl, would it?
Maybe. I mean, it's tough. I mean, the way the Detroit losing Hutchinson, and if San Fran never gets McCaffrey back, I could see Green Bay, after what they did last year, getting there to the NFC Championship game a little bit more than Houston. I think Houston's a little young, and I don't think they're as talented. Certainly not without Nico Collins, who's out again this week. So it's a tough one. I like Green Bay in this game. 2.5 to me is an underlay. I don't like Stroud on the road. You know that. I know he had a pretty good game, but that's the Patriots last week. They're just not playing well. And Green Bay's got a good defense. They run the ball. I think Love is getting better and better off the injury. He looks right to me now. He threw 4 touchdowns last week. I like Green Bay in this game.
Okay, I think I could maybe get there with you. This line is very, very fishy to me. It just felt like it would be 3 or 3.5. So I think it feels like a little bit of a sucker bet to get on Green Bay here, because it just seems so obvious. And when it's so obvious, it's not. I think, Green Bay's defense, yeah, you said they're good. I have them ranked 15th. Whereas I have Houston's defense ranked 2nd in the league right now. So
Houston lost a real key player on defense though last week. He's not playing this week. I saw that. One of their defensive linemen or one of their outside linebackers, their biggest pass rusher, not the kid Anderson from Alabama. The other kid's
Mario
out.
Edwards.
Yep, out. It's a big loss for them.
Defensive tackle, yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that makes it easier for Josh Jacobs to run the ball. And I just think Green Bay's got too much, listen, I hate the kickers. Green Bay have the worst kickers. I don't know how they can't get a guy in there to kick. Their kicker misses field goals and extra points every single week. I don't know how the guy has a job. There's got to be someone better than that guy. But whatever, I'm still going to lay 2.5. They should be able to win by 3 at home against an AFC South team that's coming in. I'm not saying it's going to be freezing weather, but this game is setting up to be, to me, a typical Green Bay home game against, one of these indoor AFC teams. I like them. I like the way they're playing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel strongly about it, and I definitely, if I sort of lean Houston, but if you're on the Pack, maybe you'll talk me into it by the time the weekend rolls around, like you did last week.
Yeah, let's see.
Cincinnati, Cleveland. What do you think of this one? This is I don't know. It ran up to 6.5. Market took it back down to 6, which is where it currently is. Our contest line is 6.5. Feels like too many. We obviously got rid of Amari Cooper this week. Question now is that a good thing or a bad thing for the team? Did we want him out of there? Who's going to step up? Is Jerry Jeudy now WR1? He's obviously, his target share is going to go up. Is he going to be able to catch the ball? I just have so many questions. Did Cleveland already hit rock bottom? Is Nick Chubb going to play? If he does, is that going to be a catalyst?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a huge thing for them. I mean, if Chubb plays, it's enormous for them. And I think he's playing. He's been practicing.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and we didn't talk about this Monday, but Conklin started last week, and Jed Wills was back. So the offensive line is sort of, I mean, I know it's still like makeshift. We're on our third string center, but I don't know. I think there could be a spark, and it's obviously like we play Cincy tough. In fact, we own them recently.
No doubt.
It kind of feels like this line should be 3, and there's a lot of value with Cleveland. I mean, I'm not gonna pick Cleveland, but I feel like this is too many points to lay for Cincy.
I totally agree with you. I like Cleveland with the 6.5. I think it's the Cincinnati, Cleveland 5-0 straight up against Cincy the last 5 times they played. It's a matchup that they own. People are pouring dirt and basically burying the Browns and just shoveling dirt on the grave. And, Cincinnati against the Giants, I thought the Giants had plenty of chances to win that game. Cincinnati's offense did not look great. They didn't even get Jamar Chase the ball at all. And that's against the Giant defense. I mean, Cleveland at home should put up a fight here. This game means a lot to people in Ohio. As you know, like Cleveland will fight in this game like it matters. And Burrow struggles here. I like the 6.5. The problem is we're not supposed to be taking bad teams in our top 5. And for that reason, I'm not going to let us do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I do like Cleveland.
But in my pick pool, I took the 6.5.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Well, maybe we'll see what we agree on as our top 5.
Sure.
And what the outside candidates. I mean, sometimes you're forced to take a bad team, but let's hold off for now. Next game, great game, maybe the best game of the week. Lions, Vikings. What do you think?
Really, really, really interesting and difficult game. My gut is telling me to take Minnesota in this game, even though Detroit has had a lot of success against Minnesota. Interesting numbers for people to understand. Both teams come in red hot. Detroit is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 on the road, and Minnesota is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games period, and straight up in their last 5 games period, and they're off a bye. I don't see how Detroit's going to contain Jefferson. I think he's going to have an enormous game here. And obviously losing Hutchinson is a guy you don't replace. So who's going to rush the passer better than him on that team? The answer is nobody. Darnold's been good. Not sure if Aaron Jones is playing. If not, Chandler's fine. They got a lot of weapons. But on the other side, Detroit probably should have success too, right? Against Minnesota, even though their defense is good. What is the line?
It is Detroit is getting 2.5.
Yeah, I would take Minnesota if we're laying less than a field goal.
Okay.
It's the second game in a row on the road for Detroit, which I think matters in the NFL. And I just think that emotional, like there's definitely air let out of that balloon when you see the replay of Hutchinson's leg snapping like a twig like that. That affects people. That affects people on their team. And you don't just replace a guy like that on the field. They don't have a guy that can come right in that's going to be as good as that guy. So that's a big thing. Like Darnold's going to have more time to throw. Jefferson's going to be open on virtually every play. And, I actually like that Detroit's coming in off a blowout win. I think that's even better for our position if we're only laying 2.5 with Minnesota.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to like Detroit because that's where I'm leaning in this game. I just don't know, like their strategy is so contingent on getting pressure, and I just don't know that they're going to get it against this offensive line. And if they don't get it, then I just feel like Detroit's going to do to them what they did to Dallas. And Detroit's defense is, I know Minnesota's defense. I have them ranked first, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way that they're going to be as bad as Dallas. There's no chance.
I have Detroit ranked 5th on their defense.
Yeah, they should be, but that's with Hutchinson rushing the passer, so he's gone.
And I know that hurts, but Darnold is not nearly the quarterback that Goff is. And I think he's been exposed a few times this season by lesser teams. And this is such a high leverage game for the NFC North that I just see it coming down to the final possession. And I'd like, I think you're right about Detroit being a little bit sleepy after that win. Like I could see them getting a slow start, but I kind of feel like at a certain point late, they're going to be right in this game, and just getting 2.5 down at the wire. I like it. So I lean Detroit in this one.
Okay, well, let's agree to disagree. I think Minnesota's the right side, and I think off a bye especially, they'll be rested. They'll be prepared for Detroit. And, no one's going to surprise anyone in this game. They're division rivals. They know each other well. Coaches know each other. Players have played against each other. And last year, I'll recall that Detroit came in there and beat Minnesota, as far as I remember, because I remember that on that HBO thing I watched over the summer where they were doing the highlight on the receivers. And Jefferson wasn't too thrilled about it. Amon-Ra St. Brown's antics, during and after that game. So I think Jefferson's going to have a monster game, and I don't think he's going to let them lose.
Okay. Next one, Dolphins Colts. This is a pass for me. I don't really have much to say about it. I think
Achen's coming back for Miami, which I think is really good for them. And I know that Richardson's playing for the Colts. One interesting thing I found on this, again, it's historical and it's trends. Miami's 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games when they play at Indianapolis. Something about that building in Miami, they just cover spreads there, and they're getting 3.5. I would take Miami here. You've had them off a bye. You've had Huntley have an extra week to work with Waddle and Hill in preparation for this. I think Miami's going to be ready to go.
Bad team. Backup quarterback. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not getting involved with something like that.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Listen, if I could get on Indy with some confidence, I would, but there's something about that matchup that says to me, just stay away. Just avoid.
Yeah. Okay. Titans Bills 9.5. Man, this is a big number to lay. I can't bet on Will Levis. If it's Bills or nothing for me in this game. Bills in Survivor or nothing for me in this game. But I wouldn't in a million years bet on Tennessee. Part of me thinks it's too many, and it plays into your trend about the big underdogs and their incredible win-loss.
17-4-2 now, actually updated after last week over the underdogs plus 6 or more.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been wrong on Tennessee the whole year. I kind of think they're better than their record is. They play really well historically in Buffalo. They're 10-5 in their last 15 games against Buffalo. So that's a lot of wood to chop. I know Buffalo got Amari Cooper, and everyone's hoping that it's going to happen right away. And I think Cooper has a pretty good track record of instantly contributing when he shows up at these other teams where he has immediate success and impact. I'm sure Josh Allen is really anxious to get the ball to him because it's a down the field threat for them, which they haven't had. So just a lot of points for me, man. I'm going to take Tennessee, and I'm going to hope for the miracle upset actually to knock people out of Survivor, because I am not taking the Bills off a Monday night road game coming home laying a number like this to a team that has success against them all the time and is coming in as a dangerous. You say they're 1-4, whatever their record is, 1-5, maybe even, but they're a better team than that. Pollard's been very good. Their defense is a top 10 DVOA defense. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking Buffalo with that many points.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Raiders Rams. It's another skip for me.
Really? Why?
Well, you want to lay this number against the Raiders? Is that what you're
saying? I love the Rams in this game. Are you kidding me? They're getting healthy. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Cooper Kupp back, and they have the two-headed monster with Kyron Williams, who scores every week, and Blake Corum has been getting better. They're coming off a bye at home. They absolutely own the Raiders in this matchup. I mean, they're 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 times they played the Raiders, and 5-1 straight up against them at home. In their 6 game, they play well at home.
The problem is I have the Rams defense ranked 30th. They're not. This isn't the Raiders playing Pittsburgh. This is like maybe a breakout game for O'Donnell. And I just saw this line and I was like, man,
O'Connell.
Yeah, I just felt like it was too many when I first saw this. Like the Rams are terrible.
They're laying 7.
Yeah, 6.5 in the contest.
Yeah, I think I like the Rams a lot. I think this game's not going to be close. They're talking about a team that's been quitting. I mean, the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders have anything. I mean, what do they have? I mean, I guess they have Brock Bowers is very good on offense. He's elite. Maybe Jacoby Myers if he plays well. They're really banged up at running back. I mean, Zamir White's not even playing. The quarterback, I think, stinks. I don't think Aiden O'Connell's any good. And other than Max Crosby, I don't see how they're going to slow down. I mean, if Kupp is back and they have the other receivers, Stafford off a bye where he's rested and feeling good, I don't know. I kind of like them less than a touchdown. I'm not saying I'd take them in Survivor, but I kind of like them in this spot. It's very tough to bet the Raiders. The Raiders, to me, have really disappointed us all year.
Yeah. I'm not suggesting we take them. I'm passing on this game, but
got it.
My feeling was it was too many to lay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you like.
I got to look at McVay's record off a bye. I don't know that stat point, and we need to know that going into Sunday, because if it's anything like Andy Reid's, we have to take the Rams.
Okay. Well, I don't know about that, but let's look at it and talk about it. Panthers, Commanders, letdown spot for Commanders, 7.5 is the line. I kind of feel like Carolina can score in this game, and my gut tells me this might be a little bit of a letdown spot, and this is too many for them to lay. At the same time, I would never bet on Carolina.
Yeah, we can't. Like, this is tough. I mean, again, I took Carolina with the points in the pick pool because I think it's too many points. And like you said, after you have that kind of an effort on the road at Baltimore, it's easy to come home to a doormat NFC team and maybe kind of lose your focus a little. I don't know if Jaden Daniels will do that, but I Carolina can score. I mean, they do have offense. I know that. I just, Dalton can make mistakes, and Jaden Daniels has been unstoppable. So I don't see how Carolina can stop him. So this could be very similar to me to the Atlanta game, where you think they're in it for a little while, and then at the end, it's 38-20.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what would make me nervous. I'm not saying we should take Washington, because I do think there's something to that letdown element in this spot. I agree with you on that. So I wouldn't be anxious to lay 7.5. But again, we can't take Carolina. We're not taking 1-win teams, in this thing. Forget it.
What about the bounce back factor? I mean, they did lose last week, so they want to get that, they want to get back to their winning ways. And I don't know, like, I would feel like this would be more of a letdown spot if they actually won last week. But the fact that they lost means, they don't want to have back-to-back losses. And if they lose this game to Carolina, then it's kind of like.
Listen, I'm taking Washington as one of my Survivor teams. I have 3 Survivor picks left, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you don't like the side here.
I just think it's tough. I think it's very hard to go against that trend. I mean, I know it's maybe there is a reversion to the mean on that. I mean, last week it was 1-2-1, that trend. So maybe it's kind of turning here. And there are some ugly teams you got to be taking this week if you're going to ride that trend. You're talking about taking the Raiders. You're talking about taking the Titans. You're talking about taking Carolina. I mean, these are some fucking bad teams, dude. If you're going to jump on that train, the Browns. I mean, there's a lot of bad teams that are going to have to come through for you in order for that trend to stay hot. So part of me says, be careful with us taking them in the top 5. But as far as the pick pool goes, weekly picks, I'm going to ride that trend as long as I can until it goes 0-4 or whatever,
Okay. That was a lot of airtime for the Carolina Commander game.
Yeah, I guess it kind of was,
It's fine. Chiefs 49ers. Maybe the best game of the week. I can't believe the Chiefs are a dog. Are you taking the points in this one? I gotta love them as a teaser.
What's the line?
It's 1.5. It's kind of a Super Bowl rematch here, right? This is.
Are both these teams are coming off a bye? That's really strange.
Yeah. Did the Chiefs play last week?
No.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Double bye, which is really interesting.
Christian McCaffrey is still out with those double Achilles things. That's a real disadvantage. I have not been impressed with Kansas City's offense this year. I know Mahomes is not having a good year. Mm-hmm. I mean, I looked at some numbers like Justin Fields has 10 touchdowns and 1 interception, and at a QBR that's and Mahomes is like 6 touchdowns and 6 picks. Like, he has not been good. I don't know how they're 5-0. I got to say it. Other than with help from the referees, I don't think they've been that good. So the other thing is San Francisco hasn't been that good either, So I think Shanahan's had a really hard time in his career beating Andy Reid. And Andy Reid, listen, it's, death, taxes, and Andy Reid off a bye, right? I mean, come on, that never loses. So, I mean, people know that. Everyone knows that. The question is, does it come true again this week? This game's hard to pick. I really have no. If McCaffrey was playing, I would take San Fran, but Mason's hurt. I don't know anything about this kid Guerrero, who is at running back. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna beat these guys man to man unless they exploit Kittle. Kittle's the one matchup that I think they have that's very good, but I don't know. Tough call. Normally with KC as an underdog or laying this kind of low number, I like them.
Yeah,
What do you think? I mean, this is a hard one.
Yeah. No, I agree with a lot of what you said. I kind of feel like it's San Francisco's moment. They'll win this game. And this is the kind of game that Shanahan can win against Andy because it's not important. And I also feel like Andy may not show his hand, like he may not do the creative, the Andy Reid type things that he does in the Super Bowl and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, the good plays and just kind of like, try to beat them the traditional way. And if it works out, then great. And if not, no big deal.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's so much more important to San Francisco and Shanahan.
Yeah.
That Andy would be okay, like, losing this game because it doesn't matter. And he's got, 3 Super Bowl rings with this team. And like, let's we'll see him in February if they happen to make it back.
A couple things that you said. I guess when you said the quote unquote good plays. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the Glenn Gary leads, Yeah, exactly. So you don't break out the Glenn Gary leads until you really need to close, at the end of the month, you break out the good leads. Right. But
I don't think Andy will, I really don't believe he'll show his full hand in a game like this. Like, I just think he'll try to beat them the traditional way. Look, if I had to pick, I don't like one side or the other. I lean San Francisco. I take that back because that's everything I just said was sort of pointing toward like a last minute field goal by the 49ers.
Well, this is their time to win, is what you're saying. Like Shanahan, I mean, obviously they've had as players, I'm sure Warner and Bosa and Kittle and those guys and Debo, those guys have had this game circled because they, this is the team this is the dragon they have to slay.
I know. And it's also, it's a bit of payback's a bitch because if you remember, I think it was last year, may have been the year before, where the Chiefs came in here and just wiped the floor with these guys.
Yes, they did.
And I kind of feel like it's going to be one of those, like it won't be close, and it's going to be a blowout on either side. And this time, I think it's going to be the 49ers.
Okay, I'm not as confident as you. I can't put that in our top 5. I'm not going to bet against Andy Reid off a bye. I'm not betting against a 5-0 Mahomes team. San Fran is not a healthy football team right now. They're not 100%, and you need everything you can throw at Kansas City to beat them, and that doesn't even mean you're going to beat them. So if I had to, oh my God,
what happened?
Judge just homered.
Really?
To tie the game. 2-run homer.
Really?
Holy shit. 109 miles an hour, 356 off their closer.
What inning is it?
Woo!
What inning is it, Joe?
All rise. We're in the 8th, 3-3.
Wow, what time the game start? Jesus.
Early start.
5?
Yeah, 5 o'clock start. The Mets are tonight. Anyway, I lost focus. Like I was saying, I can't get with you on San Fran. I in my heart, I'd like to see San Fran because I don't want KC to win every week. But I'm not picking against Andy Reid and Mahomes off a bye. Just not doing it.
Yeah, I am. I like San Francisco. I also like the narrative. The more I think about it, and the more I talk about it, it's perfect for the league. To everybody accuses the Chiefs of getting all the calls.
Yes,
and we're right. They do get the calls
all the time,
but not this week. Not this week. This is when the 49ers get the calls, and then all the Chiefs fans and the Chiefs are gonna see. You think we got the calls? We didn't get anything in this game.
Jeez, for 1 week? They don't have the right to say that. Come on, no chance.
Yeah, they will. It's perfect.
Okay.
Right, let's move on. Sunday night, Jets.
By the way, that's the 425 game, right? That's probably the national game. Okay, just checking.
Yeah. That's the featured game in the.
Are there 2 Monday night games again or no?
Doubleheader Monday night, but Sunday night is Jets Steelers.
Yeah, this is my team.
I have my opinion on this game. I want to hear yours first.
I like the Jets. I mean, listen, if they can't win with Devontae Adams coming in, this is a must-win game for the Jets. Steelers are making a quarterback change for some stupid reason. Tomlin thinks he's outsmarting everyone by letting Russell Wilson play. Maybe he's right. Maybe he sees something that none of us see. To me, Justin Fields has played well enough. Now, when Justin was interviewed, he said, quite candidly, I haven't been good enough. He goes, yeah, we got some wins, but I know I need to play better than I've played. I have not been good enough to earn this job. And maybe if I had made some better plays when I needed to, then there wouldn't be a discussion. So I got to give the kid some credit for that type of humility and understanding, that obviously he's still maturing as a player. We have injuries on the defense. Every team's injured. The Jets have won, believe it or not, 3 out of 4 the last times we've played the Jets. And historically, we own the Jets, so it's been kind of weird the last few times. But I don't like us, and I don't like us in this spot as a team. I'm not saying I'm betting the Jets, but oh my God, another home run, Stanton!
Really?
Giancarlo Stanton, 4-3. Wow, that's my boy. That's my guy. That's my guy. As I say all the time, Stanton's my guy.
Wow,
unbelievable! Wow, explosive. I would stay away from Pittsburgh. Just telling you, I don't love this matchup for us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're aligned because I like the Jets too. I think it's terrible timing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think there must be some either a handshake or contractual that if Wilson's healthy, then he is the starter. That's the only explanation. There's nothing that Justin Fields did to me that would warrant him getting benched in this situation.
No, but coming into the season, Russell Wilson was the starter, and then he got hurt. So, unless you Wally Pipp the guy, right? I mean, which did happen to Wally Pipp, right? He got hurt, and I think it was Gehrig came in, and Wally Pipp never played again. It was like done. But this is a little different. These guys are both on 1-year contracts, right? We're not sure if Justin's the future of the team. Tomlin, I think, feels that Russell Wilson can be the veteran, steady hand that in the playoffs can lead us to a Super Bowl because he's done it. So I know in Tomlin's mind, he's saying, let's see what we got in Russell, and let's see maybe that pushes Justin to be a little bit better. This is a roll the dice move by him. He gets paid to be the head coach and make these decisions. This is a very controversial decision for a lot of people in Pittsburgh, probably people on the team. But I guess, if it works, the guy's a genius. If it doesn't work, you could always have Justin. I would have started Justin if it didn't go well. Know that Russell's healthy, so that if the game state's going against you, you can make a change to potentially impact the game. You know what I'm saying? In game, you can make a change. But now, if let's say Russell comes out and we're losing 21-3 at the half, and he has 2 interceptions, do you even go to Justin Fields at the half? I mean, at that point, that's all you're going to give him is a 1/2 audition. It doesn't make sense to me. So I just think it's a hard spot for us.
The one thing that's really having me question it is, so you got Herbig is out, and now you have Zach Frazier out. So you're your third string center, and the best part of the Jets defensive line is right up the middle. And so you're going to need the best asset of Justin Fields, his ability to scramble right up the middle, is the worst thing about Russell Wilson's game.
Totally.
Right? So
yeah,
you're going to ask him, having not played at all, to be prepared to scramble when he's not a scrambling quarterback against a offensive line that isn't great. I don't know. I think
you mean a defensive line, the Jets you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about, your offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the biggest loss for us, we've already lost 3 starters of the offensive line. We lost our center last week.
Yeah.
The stud kid out of West Virginia who's been unbelievable. Like, this guy already 5 or 6 games in is looking like he's been in the league for 5 years. It's incredible how good he's been. Frazier, yeah. So he's out till week 10. We have a veteran center that's stepping in to play. But I kind of agree with you. I mean, you're dealing with the Jets defensive line. I know that the Jets have had a hard time stopping the run. The other thing in this game that I didn't mention is Najee Harris is dealing with some ribs. that are not really great. He's been limited at practice. He's a tough guy. Like he's like how we talk about guys questionable, they always play. You know how we talk about that on the podcast? Najee is one of those guys. So he'll be like questionable all week and he'll play. He's that guy, you know? But still, I mean, I don't know. This to me, I think we're catching the Jets kind of at the wrong time here, you know?
Okay, we're both on the Jets.
Wow.
Ravens Bucks. 3.5. We got the first part of the doubleheader.
Wait, tell me the line. Who's giving and where? Tell me the line.
Baltimore's laying 3.5 on the road.
I love Tampa. Oh my God, Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield is the hottest quarterback in the league. They're at home against Baltimore. And Baltimore, I remember last time I played Baltimore when they were in Florida. That guy lost the game for me, knocked me out of Survivor. I'm taking the 3.5 at home. I like what Tampa's doing. I like the weapons they have. I think you can throw on Baltimore, and I think their defense can stop the run. So I think this is 3.5. I'm going to take the 3.5. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I like it also. Let me just see what that's the contest line. I want to see if it's 3.5. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Tampa's hot. They're at home. Big game here. I know you quoted, Lamar's record against the NFC is very good, but
yes,
I just think this feels like too many.
3.5 seems like a lot to me. Like even if Tampa fights the game and loses at a field goal by Justin Tucker at the end, we still cover. So I like that. I don't see Baker not being in this game. Baltimore's defense is not what it once was. Just look at Washington, what they did last week. I mean, they had a chance at the end to tie that game, and they moved the ball up and down all day on Baltimore's defense. I think Baker's going to do it too.
Yep, me too. Okay, final game of the week is none other than the Chargers, LA Chargers at the Arizona Cardinals. What a horrible game. Chargers are laying 2.5.
I don't know why you say a horrible game. I think it's kind of intriguing. Like, I was on the Chargers last week, as you know, and because you had Denver against me, and I liked them in that matchup off a bye with Harbaugh, and I kind of like the way they're playing. Their defense has been really solid, but I got to say, this, like I said last week, I thought Arizona is a very up and down team. Last week, I had them laying an egg in Green Bay, and I was right. I like Arizona this week at home as a dog. I think they're going to show up. I think that that they're going to be ready to play. And this is like Kyler Murray, right? He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down. Last week he was down. This week I think he's going to be up. Now, is Marvin Harrison Jr. healthy?
Well, he has to go through that protocol. Let me just see real quick.
He's a concussed. There's a lot of concussions this year. God damn. Every week.
There's always concussions, but it's just.
Yeah, but not to skill players like this. I mean, these wide receivers, how are they getting concussed?
It's the protocol that you have to pass through. Yeah, he's questionable, listed as questionable.
I like what I told you. I thought McBride would get his stride back coming off the injury last week. He had 10 or 11 catches. So he's going to be there. I know that. And I know Connor had a down game, but I think he likes to shine under the lights. Even though the Chargers have a good defense, I am inclined to take Arizona as a home dog on Monday night.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this because I as I said last week, I think the Chargers defense is overrated. I was dead wrong about Denver, but that was I don't know. I still feel like the Chargers defense is overrated, and that's the reason why there's value in betting against them until sort of the market sort of figures that out or realizes that.
Yeah.
This is a perfect game to see if that's true or not, by the way. This is like a high-powered offense that can really score on anyone.
Arizona can score, but the thing that worries me about Arizona every week when you bet them is their defense. I mean, Dobbins for San Diego has been great. He had another 100-yard game last week. I think that was the best game of his career, actually. You know, he's had so many seasons shortened by injuries, but Dobbins has been impressive. The kid Lad McConkey that they drafted, I think, is a really, really solid wide receiver. He's become, I think, the biggest target for Herbert. And Herbert's ankle looked better last week. I don't know if you noticed that in the Denver game. He was not hobbling at all. So that bye week definitely helped him. So he's going to be healthy. The thing is, with the way Harbaugh plays, like he's playing like this close to the vest style where you run the ball short in the clock, plays a lot of unders. So that, I think, probably plays into Arizona because they'll probably be in the game, you know?
Can you believe that the Charger defense, according to DVOA, is ranked third?
Yes, I know they're top 10. Yes, I can. They're very good. They've been really solid. They don't give up a lot.
That's unbelievable to me.
But I think Arizona was going to be up to the task.
I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Their schedule rank is
Can't be great. They weren't great last year. They probably have an easy schedule. I can't believe Rizzo didn't make that play. I cannot believe that.
I was right. Their strength of schedule, this is it. This is exactly why I like Arizona. Their strength of schedule is 29th.
Yeah. It's not good.
That's why their defense is ranked third.
Okay. Well, listen.
And that's why they're overvalued. And I like what you're saying about Arizona as a home dog.
I do.
I'm with you on that.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think they're going to have a great week. I think this is the kind of game that Arizona can really feel good about being at home, bouncing back. The Chargers aren't some defensive stalwart. They're not. Arizona's going to move the ball. Kyler Murray is going to be able to move the ball.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's like a misnomer. Like they're listed as like this great defense, but but
they're playing a lot of bad teams.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 4. We got Philly, the Jets, the Bucks, and Arizona. We got a home dog. We got a road favorite. I don't like laying 3.5 with the Eagles, but I mean, that's the line. So we got to find one more.
I think it's 3 with the Eagles. A 3.5 in the contest.
Yeah, it's not.
That sucks. Ugh.
I know.
Hmm.
But I still think, like, if Philly wasn't getting a bad rap.
Can't get you to the Rams, huh? Can't get you on those Rams.
Maybe we'll find one more when we're out at Reed's.
I think the Rams are going to blow. I think the Rams are going to blow out the Raiders. I don't think it's going to be close.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Great show, Cello. Got a little bit of work to do before we get our final 5. I want to make a bet. There's a lot going on. Got the October All Sports Cash League. We got NBA preseason lines are up. We got the Major League Baseball. We got the World Series League going on. There's action.
There's so much stuff right now. This is the best time of year. I mean, hockey just started. You got NBA for those people that like the NBA. I'm just a Knicks fan, so I'm excited about the Knicks. But NBA starting next week. Hockey's going. I mean, this is some New York teams are in the playoffs. You got your Indians. I know you're a Reds fan, but Cleveland's got a team in there playing hard. This is great stuff.
I'm excited for Browns Bengals, by the way. It's always a good game.
Dude, that's listen, that's a slugfest. That's the Battle of Ohio. It's good no matter what the records are, right? You throw the records out. That's why I like Cleveland. As
a Browns fan, we kind of look at this. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying this. Like this, maybe this is our turning point. Nick comes back. We got rid of some baggage there with I mean, I know it's interesting with this trade deadline coming up. It's not clear whether we're buying or selling. We're likely selling. But I do think the Amari Cooper trade was actually because he was totally unproductive for us. I don't think.
I kind of agree with that.
In the locker room or on the sideline, but his body language was not good. Good.
I would have liked to see you get a 2nd round pick instead of a 3rd, but I guess when you're just trying to get rid of a malcontent, you'll take what you can get.
Yeah. All right, my man.
Let's stay hot, Jack. Let's have a great week. By the way, I can't wait to see you this weekend. We got a boys weekend out east at Reed's. We're going to have a great weekend, man. I'm really pumped. I wish you were playing golf with us tomorrow. I know your back's not great, but next time, but a lot of college games to watch, a lot of pro games, a lot of baseball. We're going to have a blast.
I know. All right, buddy. Be good. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
We'll see you on the wrap show this week.
Manage your units.
Okay. Good job.
Work. Good work.